Mr. Jarrar was attempting to fly from JFK to California, which is where he lived at the time.
And he was wearing a T-shirt that said in English and in Arabic, "We will not be silent."
He had gone through security, had been checked, everything cleared. He was trying to have breakfast.
A government official and some people from JetBlue came up to him and essentially told him that he couldn't wear that T-shirt if he wanted to get on the plane.
He said, people are offended because of your T-shirt. So at that moment, I looked down at my T-shirt to see which T-shirt does he mean. And I figured out that I was wearing one of my T-shirts that read in both Arabic and English, "We will not be silent." So I said, I apologize if this offended anyone, but I can't see why anyone would get offended by this message.
He told them that it was his constitutional right to wear that T-shirt, and he asked if there was some law that prohibited him from wearing that shirt.
The officer who first approached me told me that coming to an airport wearing a T-shirt with Arabic language on it is like going to a bank and wearing a T-shirt that reads, "I'm a robber."
And so eventually, because he wanted to get home, he agreed to put on another T-shirt on top of the shirt that he was wearing. The JetBlue agents called him up to the boarding gate. They took his boarding pass from him, which was for the front of the plane. They ripped it up, and they gave him a seat at the very back of the plane.
Mr. Jarrar contacted a number of media organizations as well as the ACLU. He was very clear about what his rights are and decided that they had been violated in this situation, and he wanted to seek vindication of them.
This case is about the government's decision to censor Mr. Jarrar's speech, and it's also about the racial discrimination that Mr. Jarrar suffered at the hands of JetBlue and the government.
Since September 11, 2001, airline profiling has been rampant. Many people who look like Mr. Jarrar have been singled out for different types of treatment based upon their ethnic backgrounds. The ACLU is involved in these types of cases because we believe that very important principles are at stake. The first is that our government should be protecting all of us. Our government should not be singling out anybody based upon someone's speech or ethnic background. When the government and airlines behave in these ways, is really not making any of us safer. In this day and age, there's always going to be passengers who are going to be afraid to fly, particularly with certain types of people. But airlines and the government, based upon their experience and based upon their training, should know better than to indulge that type of irrational fear. Instead, they should be doing everything that they can to quell those fears and to calm people down.
Maybe by itself, it doesn't seem significant among the other disasters that happen around the world. But believe me, the hugest disasters start by little small steps like this. People giving away their rights very slowly, thinking that this is patriotic. I will give away more of my rights because I think it's important for national security. And then you end up living in a country where you can't talk, when you can't breathe, when you can't do anything.